So hello everybody, it's Jen Ferguson here with Artistic Painting Studio, and as promised I am back on Thursday night. So I am going to grab our link real quick, so give me just a second, and I'm sending this out to our texting community so that they can come and find us quick and easy. And then also, if you would like to be part of our texting community, I will post the phone number for you so that you can come join us. And that way you don't have to worry about Facebook reminding you. I'll remind you. It's pretty cool. So let me post that for you as well. Hello, Joanne. Did you get my email today? I'm hoping I sent you one, but I know most people don't check their email like I do. I check my email all day long because we try to stay on top of stuff, but not everybody else does that. Just me, I guess. So check it if you haven't, Joanne. I sent you a code, okay? Let's see. I'm going to put in here let's textjennifer.com to join. Ooh, let's see if I can type tonight. I obviously can't type and talk at the same time, okay? Okay, so I'm just adding that. I'm going to pin it if my computer will quit spinning. And that way, if anybody else would like to join our texting community, you can just go to www.textjennifer.com, and that should work and get you guys added. So hello, Ellie and Judy, Kay, Sherry, thank you guys for joining. And if you haven't said hello yet, please do. We'd love to know who's here hanging out with me. And we've got some fun projects. I had talked the other day about trying not to start a whole bunch of new stuff, but to actually finish what we got going here. So walking around my piles, my table with my piles, and there's a lot of piles around here, I found a couple of things that I could pour and do an epoxy pour on, showing you how to do one on a tray. Okay, so this is going to end up being a tray. I'm going to do the epoxy pour, and then I'll put some beautiful handles on either side, so we'll have a great little serving tray. And then this is one of my tumblers that has its first layer of epoxy on there, and I'll do the second layer, and that way you'll see how to use the epoxy on a tumbler as well as on a serving tray or any kind of a flat surface. So if you have questions as we're going, just go ahead and pop them right into the comments, and I will do my best to keep answering you guys. Oh, Madonna, I bet you are working on something fabulous. I can't wait to see. Hello, Linda and Sue. Thanks for joining. Okay, I put plastic down on my table because anytime I'm working with epoxy, I want to cover my surface because it drips. And then I like using these little painter triangles that will help keep my project up so that it can drip over the sides. And then you do want to check and make sure that your surface is pretty level, okay? Because if it's leaning one direction or another, everything is going to go that way, okay? Because epoxy self-level, so it just kind of runs off. And then the tumbler spins, okay? So this is on what's called a turner, okay? A cup turner. Gosh, I'm so glad that that was written on there because my brain just went dead. But it's a cup turner, so it turns, okay? So we don't have to worry about that. And that just keeps working and working, and it is great, okay? So I guess I should probably move things out of my way and not set this up yet. We got to mix. We got to do a little mixing first, okay? So I'm going to do that. And anytime I'm working in epoxy, I'm gloved up because everything around here that is epoxy related is sticky. And I need to find some smaller gloves. These are just a little too big for me, but they will work, okay? I thought it said medium, but I guess I was wrong. So hello, Arlene. Thanks for joining. Okay, I did not grab our box, okay, but this is my liquid glass epoxy that we sell on the website. I'll stick a link in here for anybody that is interested in testing it out. I love the way it works, okay. I had grabbed this tumbler knowing I'd only put one coat on it, and it was really smooth. It just needs another coat to build up for heavier protection, because as you use these and you take them to the river and you take them to the lake and you use them all over the place, you know, you want to have a couple of layers on here for protection, okay. It's just definitely going to keep it nicer, longer. Now, I don't put mine in the dishwasher. I just hand wash it and let it air dry, but this tumbler has gotten a lot of miles on it, okay. It's like my favorite tumbler and kind of goes everywhere with me. I like the 30 ouncer, okay. But the one I'm working on is a skinny, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Well, it's gorgeous already, but we're going to add another layer and make it even more gorgeous. So we have our product here, and all of your epoxies and resins are a two-part. So you have to mix these together equal parts and stir, stir, stir. And that is what I'm going to do, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how I do this. I have these cups that have these great measurements on them. They're wonderful. They're a little expensive. And I try not to use these as much. Okay, I use them for my measuring, but I do pour into another cup and just make marks on here, which these are really super cheap and will save your expensive measuring cups, okay? And I think I'm going to still have to end up buying some more soon. Okay, I'm looking for a Sharpie. Okay, we got one, yes. It's a really big, fat Sharpie. Yeah, maybe we can make a line still with it. Do we have anything else to write with here? Oh, we got another Sharpie, okay. Hopefully this one has a finer point so I can get a better line. Yes, great, okay. So I'm going to show you how I do this, okay. I'm just going to use some water. So this is just out of my mist bottle. And I am going to pour, 4 ounces just seems like way too stinking much. I was trying to remember my formula. So I think I only need like 3 ounces. So that's 1.5. And instead of doing that, let's see if we can find anything that's a half mark, okay. Wish they would do more hash marks on here, okay. So 50 would be too much. That's 40 would be 80. Okay, we're gonna go a little over the 40 mark, okay. So we're just gonna make sure we're doing some equal parts here, either way, okay. So I'm gonna try to do what I would think would be like 1.5 and get 1.5, because I know 4 ounces is just way too much for this little project, okay. So I'm going to make a mark here on my cup or know exactly, because that's 50 cc's is what I'm pouring. So I'm able to grab a line on here and pour it into my other cup. Now, through the light, I can see that line, and I can very carefully mark that, okay? Let's make sure that's correct. I have to get a little lower, okay? So I'm going to get off my bar stool so I can see a little bit better. Hello, Dawn and Debbie. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I'm getting the good line here. Okay. And then I'm going to pour 50 more cc's, okay, of water. And I'm going to pour it into my cheap cup again. Now I'm going to let this just dry out, and I'll reuse that again at some point. And that water line is right on, looks like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's right on top of that one. Okay. Okay, so my bad lines, but I've got 2 lines here to mark. They're both 50 cc's, okay, which is going to give me about 3 ounces. And I'm just going to pour the water back into my mist bottle. Okay, we're just maximizing the use of everything here at the table. And then we're going to dry this out, okay, because you do not want water in your epoxy at all. Debbie, I'm using our liquid glass, and I can go grab a box so that you can see it, but if you go to the website and you type in liquid, it's going to take you right to the page. I really do like it, okay, and there's another one that I do use when I get onto really huge surfaces, but this one has been wonderful for my small projects, my tumblers. I love the way it sets up. I love the way it dries. I've never had an issue with it, okay? But I am pretty anal about my measuring, okay? So just take the time to really measure correctly, okay? And I mark mine, okay? So I mark my bottles with my hardener is B and the polymer, the resin, okay, is A. And I learned it this way, okay? I learned this years ago, but this was just the way that I always remember, okay? So hardener is B, resin is A, and B is always poured before A. I know it just doesn't make any sense, but this is the way I was taught by a fabulous epoxy artist, okay? So that's the way I'm always going to do it. I'm not going to reinvent. I'm just going to be doing it the same. So I'm going to go ahead and pour part B, and I'm going to go to my first line. And you want to pour slow so it starts like leveling out. You make sure that you are staying equal parts. Okay, so equal parts are going to guarantee a couple of things. It's going to guarantee that your mixture is correct to begin with. And it's also going to guarantee that your epoxy is going to harden properly, okay? And that you are going to end up with a great pour. If you are off in your mixture, your epoxy could end up being soft and not hardening the way you want it to or that it should. So it really is a great idea. Okay, as it's moving up this line, this is killing me, okay? Okay, I think I can see it now. It's getting to this next line. Okay, I'm gonna have to look on the inside. Okay, I think I got it. Woo! But I like mixing always in one container as I just poured, okay, with doing my 2 lines, or don't be a cheap ass like I'm being right now and just use your marked cups, okay? I'm just being cheap and showing you guys how to maximize your dollars. Is that really being a cheap ass? No, I think that's just, you know, using your money wisely. When you get anything on your hands, you can just spray some clear alcohol on your glove and wipe the gloves off so you don't have to keep replacing your gloves all the time. And now it's the stir trick, okay? So we are going to stir here for a few minutes, and you really do want to stir for about 2 minutes. And I'm going to look at my phone right now so I know what time it is so I can get an idea. And you want to scrape the sides, you want to scrape the bottom, you want to mix it well, okay? So it is 2 things that is going to guarantee you probably the best pour that you can get from your product, and that is equal parts as well as stirring together well, okay? Now as you stir, you're definitely going to introduce air into the product, which is going to create bubbles. But we're going to get those all out with our heat gun, okay? Or not heat gun. We're going to blowtorch this, okay? No heat guns tonight, just blowtorch. We're going to get out the big guns. So you mix and you mix and you mix. Madonna, I use Stone Coat a lot for my huge projects, okay? I've also used my liquid epoxy when I was doing cornhole boards and stuff that got larger than that. Then I normally go back to Stone Coat, and just because I still have a ton of it here, okay? When I run out, I'll probably stay all with liquid glass because I kind of like the way the liquid glass sets up a little quicker, which is great. I still have my open time to work and to play, but I find that, you know, once you're playing in it and you're working with, especially if you're working with spray paints and all kinds of colors in it, and you really like the way it looks, but the epoxy keeps moving and keeps moving and keeps moving. It's not always the same the way it is today as it will be tomorrow morning when it's dry. But I find that the liquid glass sets up a little quicker, and that I tend to get what I want. That with the stone coat, it tends to move more for me than I really want, and it could be me heating it up too much or playing it too much, and all of a sudden I come back the next day and it's just not as pretty as it was when I left. Let's see. Linda, thank you so much for the stars. That is awesome. Madonna, I think you'd be very happy with it. I think it's worth getting one kit and just playing with it and seeing how you like it. And that's pretty much how I decided that this was going to be. I mean, I tested a few. We got, I think, 2 or 3 from different manufacturers, and we kind of just played and tested and see how everything worked. And I was super thrilled. Okay, look what my time is. Oh yeah, okay, I'm definitely within my 2 minutes. Okay, so once I'm mixed up, it is going to look a little bit more frosty. Okay, still clear, but you definitely have got air bubbles in there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, just because I have it, and I love always adding a little bling, is we've got a product here called Diamond Dust, and Gold Dust and Diamond Dust. And this is somewhere between a mica powder and a glitter. Okay, so it's way more fine than glitter, but it's not powder, mica powder that would be coloring it. It's still going to stay as a very tiny glitter in your epoxy, but it doesn't have, it's so fine it doesn't have like texture to it. So if you'd added glitter, you'd possibly fill it, because glitter has more texture. And I'm just dumping that in my epoxy, okay, because I'm going to use it obviously on both projects, because I'm going to do my tray first, and what I have left over is going to do my tumbler. And I'm hoping I did not completely overmix. Okay, I couldn't remember my recipe. Oh my gosh, Judy, I'm so excited for you. Oh, I have got a wreath round, like a circle. I also have a UTIC wreath board foiled, and I got a couple of other projects that are all done. I just need to start getting my my mesh, my ribbons, my bows. I gotta get all that stuff done. Woo! So I think we're gonna have like an endurance day, maybe one day next week, where I'm just gonna come on here live and just hang out, and we're just gonna stream for maybe a couple hours, and you guys can hang out with me for a while here and there, and I'm just gonna get some stuff done. This girl has got to finish things, okay? I feel like I never ever get to finish. Well, hello, Anastasia. Thanks for joining. Lords, it's awesome to see you. I know I sent something to you today, okay? I think Foil Club. We had a lot of Foil Club go out today, and a whole bunch more going tomorrow, okay? Yes, there is a 32 ounce Madonna. We actually have the ability to get to actually get a gallon kit. Okay, so let me know what you want. Let's see, I'm just checking to see if I missed anything. If I have, I'll try to go back and catch you guys. Okay, so just a little bit of a recap of what I did here. Okay, this is a piece of MDF. It's kind of like our sample board size that we do a lot of our samples on. And I was just having fun. And this was done, a long time ago. It's definitely been in a pile. I'm just looking to make sure that any of those imperfections that are on here are going to be okay, because I'm seeing some. Okay, I'm like, maybe we should critique this a little bit more. It has been around for a while, okay? Did you notice, you guys, I just used my spit, okay? I know that was probably super tacky, but it really works good, okay? Okay, so we've got a few areas that have a little imperfection, but you know what? That's just character building. In the background is the Wild Leopard Spots large patterned gold, and then the design, which is one of my designs, was done in roses, a Ramsey rose in the gold tone, okay? And they work well together. They don't match perfectly. And you know, I'm okay with that. I like things that just kind of blend and have fun, and there's contrast, and one of the foils is shinier than the other, so I love that as well because I think it adds some great depth. But this is just going to be a fun project, okay? So before my epoxy starts to set up, I'm going to pour this on the center, and I'm keeping some, okay? Because I got to make sure I keep enough, because it doesn't take much for the tumbler, but I want to make sure I don't short my tumbler, okay? And I like to go ahead and hit the epoxy with a blowtorch, okay? Take some of those bubbles out, and it warms it up again that you can move it, okay? So now I'm going to be able to move it across the surface. And if by chance I underestimate it or overestimate it, well, maybe, I mean, I'm thinking I probably need all this now. Okay, what is the recipe supposed to be? Is it 3 ounces per square foot? Let's blowtorch that again. Is it 3 ounces per square foot? So maybe I should have made 4. I don't know. I couldn't remember, and I was just winging it, okay? Maybe that's not always a good idea, but you know what? Epoxy, I always love to do 2 coats. I do my first pour, and then I do a flood coat. Okay, we might have only made enough just to do this project, okay? We might not be doing our tumbler tonight, but that is okay. We can do it on another night. Because I'm not starting all over. We're just going to finish one thing. If there's any left, we'll grab it. But most projects you're going to do, you're going to need 2 pours, okay? This one has the diamond dust in it and gold, okay? And when doing that, I normally will always come back and put a flood coat, but you don't always get a perfect pour in one pour, or thick enough that that's all you're going to do, okay? So almost every project I've ever done, I put a second pour on it. Okay, yeah, I think, yeah, there's not enough here. So I'm right at where I should have been for this project. I did not overestimate. Okay, so we're just going to use it all right here. And we will do our tumbler on another night. I really need to get some more cup turners so I can do a few of those at a time, but I'm sure I can find something else. I'm always, for whatever reason, I like to do multiple things with my epoxy at one time. So it's like if I'm doing a tumbler, I try to make sure I have trivets or coasters or something else to pour at the same time, okay? And with having any kind of foil underneath, okay, like we've got foil under here, you want to make sure that you're only using your hand to spread, okay? So I'm taking the epoxy and I'm running it over the edge. All my edges have been, I've used a quarter round, okay, to round both the top and the bottom edge so that the epoxy will just flow over. And I'm excited to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a gorgeous countertop for my laundry room. And we finally got a contractor. We finally have a contractor. This is the second day he's actually showed up, and we got progress. So we're really thrilled. And I'm just excited to actually be moving forward on my house. So one of my projects I probably have to do here in the next few weeks is to actually work on my countertop for that. So I'm going to be doing, I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do yet, okay? all of a sudden it's like, oh, we really need to make up our mind and figure out what we're going to do in there, because it's going to be a countertop over the washer and dryer, which are front loaders, and then there's going to be a backsplash area and uppers all the way across, okay? And this is not huge. It's like about 78 inches, okay? So I'm going to have 2 nice big cabinets above for all of our storage, because we don't have a lot of storage in this house. So I'm trying to make as much as I can. And the cabinets are white, the washer and dryer is white, so I want to put a splash of color on the counter as well as the backsplash. So we're going to have to figure out what I'm going to do. It's going to be fun. Okay, so once you have it down, you're going to take your blowtorch, okay, and you're going to go across and you're going to bring all the bubbles to the surface. Okay, now that heats up the epoxy. It raises all the bubbles out. If you find that you still think you have some bubbles in the surface, let it sit for a few minutes so it cools back down, because if you keep heating it up and keep heating it up, it's just going to all run over. If you feel like you've got some little divots, you can just take your finger and pounce those out, and they should level back out, okay? So I'm just kind of critiquing if I've got a few of those. And that's kind of what you're going to, you might have a few of those on your first coat, and then when you put your second coat on, which is called a flood coat, which is normally done thinner, okay? So I think it is 4 ounces for this piece because this is over a square foot. And I think on a flood coat you can get away with about 3 ounces, okay? And that is kind of just remembering, okay? Oh, so Christina from Christina on the Coast, is she an epoxy guru? We love coordinating and getting to meet new people, so that would be awesome. Okay, so Madonna's sharing with me also one of her favorite cup turners. Yes, I need to get another one. I have been happy with this one, other than I really didn't like all their foams, okay, but it has not like let me down, this cup turner. Nothing has fallen off of it. Nothing has, I mean, every time I leave it on at night, it's still working the next morning. Okay, so I'm going to hit this one more time. Okay, and that's really all she wrote, because I'm not doing anything fancy with it. What fancy part we're going to get here. Okay, I'm going to take my gloves off. Oh, the remodeling lady on HGTV. Oh gosh, that's funny. Linda, you can put your second coat on, I think, within 4 hours or wait 24 hours. Okay, so there's kind of like a window right after 4 hours. You can go ahead and put your second flood coat on, or normally I just wait that, I think it's 12 or 24 hours and put the second coat on, which, knowing me, who knows when that's going to happen, okay? Oh, I was going to zoom. Okay, I'm going to try to zoom in here, you guys, a little bit better. And I can't lift this, but I'll take some pictures and I'll try to capture the gold dust being in the product, because I think that just really shows so pretty. It's just a little sparkle that your eye will catch, but with it being wet, I can't move this, okay? But I'll definitely let you guys see this, and we'll post a picture of it so you can really see. But isn't it look gorgeous right now? I love what the epoxy does to the sheen and just gives it so much depth. So it really is cool. Okay, I've got an appointment tomorrow afternoon, so I know we don't get to be here tomorrow night live, but there might be a chance over the weekend, because this girl is way behind. But we're working on the house this weekend, as well as I'm going to try to come back here and maybe do a couple things. But I would love to get my second pour on here, make sure I make enough product this time, and also get our second pour on my tumbler, okay? But while I'm finishing that stuff, I talked on Tuesday night about how all of my animal print, some of these need a top coat, I can see, all my animal print ornaments, how fun they have been, and that I think they look great as like a focal point, or you know, as decoration as well, so that you can put them on a tray. I'm going to get like a bowl, okay, that has a little bit of depth to it. And I was thinking of just repurposing all my ornaments during non-Christmas, taking the clasps off, okay, or just making sure that I've got them where they are face down so nobody can see the clasp, and I can enjoy these year-round as decoration, okay, because there's a lot of animal print in my house. It's just kind of fun. It's me. We were talking about animal print at the Wreath Makers Live that I was out. Not everybody embraces animal print. I should probably get this off over the top of that in case there's anything that's got dust and it's going to drip right in there. But animal prints have seemed to not disappear for years. I keep thinking that maybe it's had its height and maybe it's going to, like, I don't know, slow down a little bit, but it's still huge in textiles, home decor. I mean, you find it in, it's huge this year in ribbon, okay? So you can definitely incorporate it into all of your wreaths, or just adding bows and fun stuff to all of your door hangers and just craft projects. But it looks like it's here to stay no matter what. Okay, I try not to overbuy too much in my clothing, but it's hard. Okay, they're just fun. So yeah, like a dough bowl would be fun. I'm just wanting some kind of, I think, more of an oblong bowl. I'm just gonna have to go shopping. Probably go to, what is that? Home Goods, something like Home Goods, or any of those off stores. I can't think of the names. I haven't been shopping in so long. It seems like I never go anywhere. But Home Goods would be a great one to start with because they always have beautiful pieces for a reasonable price. And I don't know if I want to do glass or if I want to have color or something to the bowl, but I thought it would be fun, okay? So that's kind of my idea of recycling all my Christmas ornaments, but I still have to buy a bunch more ornaments because we're going to get our tree out soon. We're going to try to get our tree out probably in September and start decorating it here for the office. And then I'll have to actually buy one for the house too. Because I know that the one here, because the house is still a disaster. We're still in construction. There's just no decorating going on there, but I can decorate here at the studio. So that'll be fun. And hopefully the downstairs is done by the end of the year so I can decorate at home as well. And I'll just buy myself I'll buy myself a real tree for the house. I bought a fake one for the studio. I like a real tree still. Okay, guys, I think that's all I get to share with you tonight. Have a super awesome weekend. I would say I'd be back here tomorrow, but I know with Foil Club and trying to get everything out, we are going to be just jamming, okay? I think we got probably about half of the packages out today and the rest are going tomorrow. So we'll get that finished out, and then, like I said, I've got an appointment with a CPA. I mean, I don't know why, but Friday night CPA, crazy. But at least I get to get out of here a little bit early tomorrow, which I'm kind of excited about. So we're going to be shutting down early tomorrow. But if I missed your question, you guys, you have any questions, just post them in the comments. I'm always here to help, and have a blessed evening, okay? We will see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, we got to find that button, okay? It is on my screen.